Gotcha.
We're live. Hey guys, it's Alexander Ned here, joined by my great colleague Nick. Nick, we
Hey.
are at the Brickyard for 100. Race fan or not, everyone knows this racetrack. It has come to be one of the favorites on the schedule, considered a crown jewel event. And right now, we are moments away from another historic race here at Indy. What makes this track on everybody's list to be the best?
Well, like you said, it's a historical landmark. It's well known all over the world. Um, One thing too, even though it's an old track, it's relatively young in the NASCAR community, so I think that kind of adds to it as well. And there's some great racing here too. I think in the game we're going to see these drivers race real tough. You got to hit your lines perfectly, a lot of draft. Um, I think it's the speed, the straight line speed that people see in those sharp corners that really gets you going.
This racetrack was first built in 1902 and paved, as you might have imagined, with bricks. We've now transferred over to asphalt there, but still one stripe of bricks lays on the start finish line. We'll see who'll be able to kiss the bricks later on. A great tradition that began, do you know what year?
Ooh, no, like, no, I don't. I don't know what year.
1996 with Dale Jarrett. He was the first driver to kiss the bricks, as they say, and it is a tradition that has been storied heavily in our NASCAR Cup Series community. We are now going to go
Wow.
on to our Brad Keselowski virtual car lap. Also, a shout out to Brad Keselowski, real life winner this week, who I may or may
That
not
was a
be a
good
huge
win.
fan of, but we don't talk about. While we're at the loading screen and talking a little bit about last week here, Brad Keselowski definitely put on a show, but you know who stole the show was the person that finished second for the third straight week in a row. Bowman is
Alex
having
Bowman.
some
Yeah.
great success this year.
Yeah, he really is. Um, I'm a Hendrick fan, and I'm a fan of everyone pretty much. If you're gonna ask me who my favorite drivers are, you may as well ask me who I don't like every time. But anyways, Bowman did a great job. He's on his way to a victory. I was a little upset, but then again, I was thinking Brad did a good job getting around him. He was a clean racer, and I think that's going to be reflected tonight too, with these guys driving this midnight broadcast and the network's Indy race. It's great to see how well Bowman's doing. He's been in the sport longer than you think.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Joy for the Fox Sports broadcast that mentioned that Bowman has done 100 and I believe 50. Actually, I think it's 161, and of the 158 races that he's done before he finished second 3 weeks in a row, he has finished in every position 2 through 43 in a Cup Series race. Isn't that insane?
Wow.
He has
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
finished
I
in
heard
every
that.
position.
I heard that stat, and I was. It's like, what did he have to get every goal? You know, I'm sure he didn't want to, but he's got to get a win. I think he's got a good part of it.
Hey, it took Michael Waltrip 462 starts. That's almost 20 years without a Cup Series win before he broke through with the biggest win of them all, Daytona 500 back in 2001. So Waltrip can do it after 20 years. Bowman, who's had 3 second place finishes, the first ever driver to do that without scoring their first ever Cup Series win. I believe Bowman can get it done with the equipment that he's in.
Yeah, he's fast, and if you think about it, we're going to Charlotte. A few years ago, I actually was able to go down there for work around that time. Of course, I planned it that way. And I think it was the race that he got the pole, and he blew a tire. And I think that was ranked away for the next day. If memory serves me right, I forgot the pole. But yeah, it could be a really good track.
Speaking of really good tracks and getting back on track, we're here with the virtual Brad Keselowski car here at Indy. Here, going to give you guys a taste of what it's like to travel at almost 200 miles an hour along this 2.5-mile racetrack, and currently on the backstretch. Heading into turn number 3 here, you will dive into. You won't lose a lot of speed in these corners. You really center speed off exit is 185 if you don't bobble like I just did, and then you're going to get right back into it on not even feather off the gas. I'm a little tight. I could probably go up to an 8 on the slider here. But then it's just straightaway speed here. You guys they're making a ton of power down the back stretch and front stretch here. Almost 205 miles per hour, especially in this 2019 update.
They're going to be diving in there. You got to get that line perfect. It's so easy to lose your momentum and to really kill a fast lap. And then people are going to be picking up, looking down. Man, I can't wait to see what's going to happen. And how do you think they're going to go in turn one?
They'll be side by side, definitely, but I do believe the preferred racing groove here is on the bottom line. You see where those arrows right there are pointing where the groove is and you know what? I'm actually going to change. Getting on the pit road. This is one of the easier pit roads we go to, especially from 35 miles per hour Dover last week. 55 miles per hour here, but let me go ahead and change my slider because I believe if you step out of that racing groove even once, your lap time is going to be killed, and then getting back into it, you've lost a lot of momentum there, and that really makes it a struggle. You can lose a lot of time initially just by missing one turn here.
Yeah, you really can. And if you get the entrance great, sometimes you think, oh, I'm going to get gas real early, you know, and then you get in the middle of 1, 2, 3, 4, you smack that wall, and it's going to kill the whole back stretch and front stretch. We got to see who's going to be consistent, who can get in a single file line in front of people first. Even, hey, the guys behind, if they didn't catch a draft, that's good. It's fun. I do enjoy this track.
Wow, I just had the greatest save I think I've ever. No, I did hit the wall. I hit the wall, darn it. But as soon as I said that, I was.
Hey, man, that was killer. That was a killer lap.
The apron is definitely going to play a factor into how you drive this racetrack as well. It's such a narrow groove. It's such a tight rope. You really have to be on your P's and Q's here, and you cannot make a mistake.
Oh, yeah, Alex, hey, how about you stop showing off over there, buddy? That was an awesome
I don't know if it's showing off as much as it is just... It's a good thing I'm not on the roster here. I know, man. Because caution would be out.
I can't wave my hand out the window and be like, go by me, let's go.
I'm going to let Eric Jones in this 20 car because he's looking like he wants to get by me. But I did mention this was an easy pit road to get onto. They'll get down to about 55 miles an hour, and you see right there, wasn't really a struggle. But something that these guys will be struggling with will be staying in the draft. Now, I believe this racetrack is going to play more. We're going to see more of the field spread out than we're going to see more pack racing that we've seen at the couple of last tracks that we've been to, Kansas, Dover, where we've seen a lot of the 2 wide, 3 wide action. I believe because Indy is such a one-groove racetrack, we're not going to see that as much. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see that. If you're on the outside, you're going to get lost unless the guy on the inside gets on the grass or the apron just a tiny bit. I think it's going to have to come down to being smart and trying to pass on exits, or maybe diving it in there on an entrance and trying to clear them before you get to the exit of the turn. But think about it, there's not much time to do that. These guys are going crazy fast.
These guys are going to have a lot to do here today at the Brickyard, and only one will be able to make their dreams a reality here out of a 16-man roster that is being decided right now as we speak. Qualifying currently underway. That should be wrapping up here in just a couple of moments. Let's give you today's track facts and settings for today's race. Again, as always, will be a custom setup race. These guys won't have a 105 difficulty. It will be a custom race setup that they have been tirelessly on, trying to get their car up to par here for these banks at Indy. Race length will be 50%. That will be 80 laps, and tire wear and the fuel consumption will be at ×2. I do believe these guys will have to make one green flag pit stop under the last stage. I don't believe necessarily they will need to make a pit stop for the first two stages, which should run about 20 laps or so. Don't know the exact number on that, but I believe a full tire and fuel consumption wear would be around the 25 lap basis. So that would mean that they would not need to be able to pit. They would not need to pit for stages 1 or 2.
See,
Flags
it's
will be on.
okay that you and I don't know it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And I wish we had that, I wish there was a way we could see the settings and stuff like that, like what would your tire wear be, what would your fuel wear be, and that's something that
Right.
704 Games is listening, and we'd love to see that be involved in NASCAR Heat 3. I know those, or excuse me, NASCAR Heat 4. I know those guys are hard at work for a release that will probably be in September. Sometime later on this year. Again, flags will be on. It will be 3 race stages. They have just wrapped up qualifying. And once again, I'll give you what do you think there, Nick? Who do you think got the pole?
Well, I already see who got the pole, but I'm not too surprised. I see that looks like Slade got that outside, which it's going to be tough. I want to see where he's going to end up. But, oh man, it's just we're gonna see some great racing, and you never know really who's gonna get up there. I'd really like to see how that 3 of Cody Workman does. Looks like he's starting in 10th. And who do you got for today?
Well, I would love to see the 14 of Smoke Fan pull it off. He's been so close so many times before. He has that one win at Richmond. He's locked into the playoffs, which we are currently only 4 races, or I believe after this race, only 4 races left into the playoffs here in this season for PRCS. But the 14 has been plagued by connection issues, bad luck. That team, if it weren't for that one win at Richmond, they would be on the outside, definitely looking in. So I would like to see, hopefully, the connectivity issue are done away this week, and we can see that 14 car park it on that yard of bricks, because right now his luck, if it weren't for bad luck, he'd have none. He is your pole sitter, though, for today.
Yeah, I hope he stays in there too. I know that Pat's ace is close to getting that playoff contention, so let's see how that goes tonight. And what's good about qualifying, if you were top 8 in points, you were locked into the race, so they didn't have to worry too much about that.
We did just get the invites in, so that means we are about to go racing here at the Brickyard, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where in real life we are just 12 days away from another historical event, the Indy 500. They're already testing here. May is definitely a fun race at Indy. I personally want to see that race in live. It's definitely a bucket list item for any race fan.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
And it looked
Yes, and I just got the invite there right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to blue screen you guys. And I'm getting onto the track right as we speak.
get this warm-up lap going.
So they'll come across officially with 79 laps to go, as we always take 1 lap for getting us in order and getting us to the broadcast. Gives us time to read you the points. Let me get that up for you guys. Slade, coming off another big win at Dover last week, continues to be your point leader here today for the PRCS Woodinvine 400 at the Brickyard. They are coming off of turn number 2 and getting lined up. 19 of Bags is second, and third, dropping the third, has been BC Racer Kid, who did make the race here today. Was not in contention last week. 88, Jason Keffer, followed by the 18 New World Order in 5th. In 6th, Fluffy. 7th is Galen, and 8th, AJ Storm. Those are all the cars that were locked in for today's race. Everyone else you see on your screen had to qualify their way in. So, good job for them. We're seeing a couple, looks like a little bit of some lag issues. Don't know if that's on just my screen or perhaps the 9 of Pat Face. That's the story we'll be following here. But the 14 and the 21s, a couple of Ford Mustangs will be leading them down. And as you mentioned there, Nick, side by side into turn number 1 over 200 miles an hour. What are you feeling as you're about to go across that famed Yard of Bricks?
Well, if I'm on the inside, stay away from the grass. If I'm on the outside, stay away from the wall. And if I'm both, stay away from the guy next to me. I want to get a few laps going, get that momentum. I think these guys have done such a tremendous job this year. I can't imagine they're thinking any differently than I am.
All right, pace car ducks for cover. And this crowd of over 160,000 strong on their feet cheering as the green flag is out. The Wooden Vine 400 at the Brickyard is green.
It looks like that 14 got a commanding lead while the 21 falls back to fourth.
Yeah, that outside line didn't really get going at all. And that's something.
He did a great job of getting down there, though.
We'll have to keep an eye on for at least 2 more restarts there, how that outside line plays off. If that's someplace you'll want to be. Now, this was a manual restart. It might not be as bad if you miss a gear, perhaps like the 21 did right there, or just wasn't on it for the start of that race. But still, that outside line definitely will be a factor toward the end of this one if we get a late race yellow. First lap under the green flag, and it looks like the 14 now pushed by the 12, and Big D Destroyer, who will lead lap 1, is Smoke Fan in that 14.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. What I am surprised on is how well they got through that
Jason
first lap.
Keffer bounced off the wall in turn 1. Sorry. There was a big stack up in the middle of the field right there. The 19 and others had to get around him. Jason Keffer now trying to minimize the bleeding on that outside line, still falling all the way back. You see what it did, choking the field mid-pack, and now they're side by side into 3.
Yeah, that 41 did a good job of letting Fluffy get his rhythm back in the 17. They know they've got a long race.
Really side by side. It's a hornet's nest there for, I believe, about 7th place on back. And that was a big moment there. That could have been, as you mentioned there, Nick, a lot uglier than what it was. A lot of heads-up driving here early in the Brickyard.
Yeah, I was following in the back, and the 41 was catching the inside of the 19 off 4, and he was moving, but that 19 had a few cars, and the draft really came into play, and no one's helping that 41 as he's fallen back to around 13th position, and further.
5-car breakaway at the front of the field, 14, 12, 38 in third, 21, and then the 22 hanging on there. That's Marcus E-Dub in that 22 car. Oh, he pounded the wall out of turn number 4. You see how much momentum he lost. And now it's a 4-car breakaway at the front of the field. The 22, Marcus, with a big mistake out of turn 4.
I believe the 22 is Diesel.
Excuse me. You are right. It is hard to keep up. It was Marcus at one time, but... Diesel has now fallen back. You see BC Racer Kid all the way to the inside, trying to perhaps break that draft. And what are you doing when you weave the car back and forth from a car that's behind you there, Nick?
You know what I think he was doing? I think that he was catching too much of the draft of the guy in front of him. He didn't want to come into 3 and lay off more than he wanted to, or get into the back of him. He may have gone down, he may have looked in his mirror, saw that 3 car was real far back. I'm going to step out of this draft, get a little slower, and have a better entrance into 3. That may have been something he was doing. But, yeah, you'll see a lot of snaking here, trying to break drafts later, for sure, as the 3 gets on the inside of that 6 there at BC.
Looking at the 12 car, who is nose to tail right along with the 14. Have not really been able to see much of the front grille of the 12 car. It's been stuffed up under the back bumper of the 14 car. That's got to be a little nerve-wracking, don't you think?
Yeah, I didn't know that there's a tow hitch on the back of that 14 there. That 12 really is right on him.
Doesn't look like he wants to make the pass. Right now, Ford occupies the first 5 positions on the racetrack there. This race won last year by Brad Keselowski in a Ford. It was Roger Penske's first ever Brickyard 400 win. What a day it was for Brad Keselowski to pull that car into victory lane. But now Ford dominating here right now.
Yeah, I'm towards the middle of the pack now, and I'm seeing differences in
we got trouble. The 38 car dives into turn number 3. Wow. Big miscue on the 38 car. He dove onto the apron and into the grass. And now
these guys are so good.
He saved it,
yeah. I'm surprised.
He did a great job saving that.
That it took that long for one of these drivers to have one of those issues. It's such an easy thing to do to misjudge your corners, especially when you're right behind someone or if you got someone right behind you.
Man, and unfortunately, the 21 car had to check up a little bit, was able to get around him, but right now that's allowed that 12 and 14 to excel out of the pack.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like he may have some help with that 38. The 22 is pretty far back, but they may be getting to a point in this stage where they kind of want to break up a little bit, try and see who can catch who, what I've got. I don't know. I don't think I've seen as good a racing as I did these first few laps. Honestly, these guys really did a great job.
We've got a couple of laps under our belt, and as we mentioned in our pre-race show, how we don't see that pack racing that we've seen a couple of laps. We do see a lot of single file, and these guys are spread out. That's what we've expected here, but how do you, if you're a car in the back of the pack, is it harder now to get back up to the front? Is track position going to be key later on in this race?
Track position is going to be key. If you're in the back right now, you're not going to have a very good chance of getting up there unless a lot of people have mistakes, unless you've got a lot of cars to draft with. Passing's hard, and with guys that are at this level, it just makes it even harder. And you need to get the track position. You got to be confident in the setup that you got and try and hold it there.
Right now, up front continues to be Smoke Fan. He's led every lap so far. Big D Destroyer, as you mentioned there, Nick. A tow hitch on the back of that 14. He's dragged the 12 car with him. 21 and 38 car. 38 had that issue in turn 3, able to rebound there nicely. 21 car following suit right behind him in the 3rd and 4th position. Then you got to go all the way back to the 22, who did hit the wall, still in 5th place. Had the 9 of Pat Ace and the 19 of Bags right behind him. And then we had got a big pack of cars steaming by, running along 7th through, I believe, 12th right there. And that is led by the 3 of CD Workman, who started in 10th. Hasn't been able to gain but one position so far, but he's got a big pack of company behind him.
Yeah, and if you look right behind him, that's where we've got Jason Keffer, and he's in a spot that I wouldn't want to be. He's in the middle. He's the meat in that sandwich. So you got to watch your entry, your exit, and then the car in front of you's entry, exit, and the guy behind you. It's a tough spot to be, but he's doing a great job. It looks like they're working together really well. They know they got to move up this track, move ahead in the track and try and catch these leaders.
How important is it for that lead car to be perfect when you're in a line like this?
Man, it's very important, because if you think about it, sure, he can have people to push him, but if you have a little issue going into a corner and you go up a little too high, because think about it, they're using the whole track anyways. If he gets 2 feet up, hits that wall, even if the car behind him doesn't need that 2 feet, the car's going to be there. It's going to be 2 cars going in the same spot. They're probably going to hit. You got to be perfect, and these guys are doing a great job at it. I mean, I don't know how you would do it. I can't do it.
Man, the 3 car got a big run. Almost had to tap the brakes right there to avoid hitting the 22 of Diesel, but the 3 running along in the 9th position there now. He's been able to draw that big pack of cars right up to that 3rd pack, and it's now one giant group of cars, led by the 9 of Pat Ace.
Yeah, these guys are doing extremely well. But one thing that I kind of want to talk about while we're watching, and interrupt me if you get something good, but if you were that 14 right now, how would you feel about that 12? So Smoke Fan has the 12, a Big D, Big Destroyer, right in his mirror. Do you think he's thinking that the 12 is playing him? Like just sitting there waiting? If
I'm the 12 car, as long as he's not doing anything to hinder, the 14, as long as the 12 car is not doing anything to hinder my performance. Oh, do you trouble on the track?
Looked like a wreck in the front.
Oh, no, I just see green flag pit stops.
Going into pit?
Green flag pit stops are underway.
Okay.
We did see the 2 and the 41, so we'll get back to that story there in a minute. But let's see who's on pit road. Our leaders, it looked like the 12 was actually able to beat the 14 going on to pit road, followed by the 38. So now we're going to see the 14 car stuck in traffic. It's a sizable gap unless there's a slow pit stop on the 12 car. I believe he will emerge the leader for right now, and this is different than what we calculated earlier in the pre-race, so you'll have to forgive me because I just did not know, but we will have one green flag pit stop for stages 1 and 2, and that is currently going to be underway. I do believe we see everyone do 4 tires and Sunoco fuel. You see the 12 car get out in front of the 14, the 38, and the 17 right behind him, the 11 in the back of the pack. Let's see what's happened with this second pack of cars. The 21 staying out as well as the 9. These guys are all going 1 lap down. And this is important because what you don't want to happen right now is a caution.
That's right. Even though it's a big track and it's tough to go a lap down, if you get a caution and these other guys are out, they're going to get the pit, and there's a good chance if you are a lap down that they're going to get in front of you. It's tough to tell when you want to do it. To me, I'd want to make sure I have someone to pit with.
19
so
car, fuel only on the 19
of
of bags. That's going to be an interesting strategy, so let's see how that plays out. The 22 car is in, the 88 is also in, the 21 has not made a pit stop, as well as, excuse me, I'm trying to follow through, and forgive me from jumping screen to screen here. The 21 and the 9 have not been on pit road. You see the 41 who did make a pit stop there. Looks like some varying strategies on the racetrack. We're seeing 2 tires, fuel only on some, and then we also saw 4 tires in Sunoco fuel going into the 12 and the 14, and everybody that followed suit behind them would be on a 4-tire strategy. Anybody that's in front of them took something different.
Yeah, I think that I'd want to go with 4 tires. They're going to have about 9 or so to go, I believe, 8 or 9 to go, and I don't want to do that on old tires here, especially with what they've been through already. I don't know if the time difference will make up for it. This is a track where you can lose a lot of time with a little error, but I want those 4 tires.
Well, the 41 cars
for 9 to go.
Seems to be loving that fresh air. We'll see what fresh air can perhaps do, but he is being eaten alive, it seems like, by that 12 and the 14. Wow, they made up. Remember, they were almost 1 turn back. They're right there as we get into turn 4, and I believe it has cycled back. I think we're done with green flag pit stops. As we see, we might have a car on pit road right now.
See, this is the whole thing with having someone to pit with.
Yes, the 3 is on pit road, getting back in.
Yeah, I would just want to have someone to pit with so that we can draft. Even if we did try strategy with 2 tires or so, that's still faster, probably faster than 1 car with 4. As I was watching the 14, I was on the tail of the 14, and it looked like he had a little issue. He separated from the 12, and this is kind of going to what I was talking about before they started pitting. That 12 stuck with that 14 that entire time, and now that the 14's behind the 12, are we seeing a little more strength out of Big Destroyer? I think we are.
Well, anytime you can get in front of somebody on pit road, I mean, that's time. Getting in front of somebody on pit road, that allows you more time to have an advantage on the racetrack. And I believe that's great. So if your competitor is a little bit slower, you want to get around them and make that pass, then I say go for it. I do believe I want to, and you guys will have to forgive me, this is unfortunately the reality we are in with the fact that we don't have a live running order. But I do believe the 19 is going to pass the 6 of BC Racer Kid right here. I believe they just did fuel only, and I believe the 19 of bags is your leader. Let's see where we know where. Let's do some trial and error right now. We know that the 14 and the 12 who are now working side by side, they were able to get around the 41 who did a 2-tire stop only.
Looks like the 21 is on pit road.
All right, so he had not made his pit stop yet, and I thought so because he had not been able I had not seen that car on pit road. However, I want to see where the 14 and the 12 are. They're on the backstretch right now, and you see just ahead of them is the 6 of BC Racer Kid, the 19 and the 9. So all those guys use varying strategies that did not include a 4-tire pit stop. The first 2 cars that are on 4 tires that we know of is the 14 and the 12. Now, I believe we're coming to what would be 6 to go in the stage. Will 4 tires be enough to run these guys down who have had no tires put on since the beginning of the race?
Alex, I think so, because I'm watching this 6 right now, and I was watching the 14 and the 12, and you can tell the speed difference, the lower RPMs. He's having a tougher time. Those 4 tires are going to grip, and they're catching him pretty quick, and he's just kind of a sitting duck right now, unless he's a little aggressive.
Let's ride along with the 14 car, who is definitely on the offensive right now. Everyone else in front of him are going to have to be on the defense. So the 21 car exit pit road, and with coming to 5 to go in the stage, looking with the help of the 12 car pushing, you see the 6 car, oh, it's no competition. He moves right out of the way. How many laps to go in the stage?
Let's see, Jason's about to cross the start finish, and he's in 10th right now in that 88.
Wow.
There we go. Yeah, you're on it.
The 4 to go, and you saw the 19 and the 21. They both hit the wall. They were no match for the 14.
Jeez. Hey, the 6 got a little break out of that, though. You know, that's 2 spots that I thought he was going to have to give up.
The 9 of Pat Face. Well, it's not a question of if, but when. That theme music you hear is Jaws, and it's being played by the 14 car, who has the help of the 12 Big D Destroyer, and they will eat the 9 of Pat Face alive right here as we get 3 to go.
Yeah, I hope a lot of these guys are remembering what's going on right now with these different pit strategies, because if it plays a role at the end, you want to know what worked and what isn't. And I'm sure they're thinking of things like time differences. How far back was I when I pitted?
Exactly.
You know, those types of things you have to put into consideration, because if the 9 was closer to the 14 and 12, his pit strategy could have worked, but I know he was far off.
Yeah, well, everyone,
was able to hold it for a while.
The 14 and the 12, everyone was behind these 2 guys. They were the top 2 cars.
By a ton, exactly.
But their strategy did work. Whoa, yeah, we got a car down pit road, and that's important because pit road is closed as of now. They was able to get on the pit road before, and let's see if we can cycle back to see who that was making their pit stop before pit road was considered closed. It was the 21 of Slade.
21
so the 21 and the 6 car are on pit road. They're going to get 4 tires and Sunoco fuel, perhaps. But the question is, will they be able to get out in front of the leaders before they get put a lap down?
Man, it's tough.
It's going to be tough.
I didn't get to see exactly how far back he was from the leaders. Let's try and find where these leaders are right now.
Here they are, coming to 1 to go, and I don't believe the strategy. Ooh. This is where a crew chief might be able to tell you, hey, let's not do this, because I don't believe you have the 21 and the 6. They're both going to go a lap down. That strategy is not going to work out for them at all. Now, they'll get the benefit of the wave around once we fall under the caution flag, but in order for that strategy to play out, they would have needed not to go a lap down. Therefore, they would have been able to benefit at that restart.
Right, and what's going to be tough is it's not the best call to make. If you're the lucky dog, yeah, you can get back on the lead lap right away, but if you're a lap down, you're going to be short. You're going to be a little shorter than everyone else with tire wear and gas.
Exactly, and you cannot pit as well. Coming to out of turn 4, Smoke Fan. He didn't lead every lap there. Oh, they're side by side at the stripe. Wow, the 12 car tried to get there in time. Wasn't enough. And Smoke Fan, your stage 1 winner here at Indy.
Man, these guys are in a different field right now, and I'd be a little worried if I was the other drivers. But they're running together extremely well. We've seen the 12 behind the 14 a lot, and I think that's working for them. Yeah, I don't know about you, but at tracks when you're drafting, you kind of, one person likes to push, one person likes to be pushed. And it looks like the 12 is doing a better job staying behind the 14. They'll continue to work together, I think.
You know, when you are put in that situation, you're working well with another competitor. That kind of makes your plan kind of easy, I would say, for the rest of the race. If you and him are on the same strategy, perhaps you guys can work together. However, we've seen at this racetrack in the past when working together, when people decide, hey, we're not going to work together, what happens? And I refer back to the 2017 incident between Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. They kind of had the same thing. They both were working quite well together. One restart, they were like, okay, the gloves are off. We both know how that ended up in turn 2.
Another thing, too, each of these drivers are learning how the other runs the track.
Stage 2 underway here, side by side, and a controlled restart by the game. We'll see how that outside line plays as the 9 car looks underneath. This is the first time we've seen that 12 car now bottlenecked as we have contact in the back of the pack. See the 11, a Celtics fan. Ooh, clips the grass. In the grass goes the 11.
He's doing a great job keeping that car straight. It's the 3 on the inside of the 22. Let's see if Cody can hold it down there.
First side by side, that is the battle for 7th as you see the 19 of Bags falls out. And the 2 guys that really need to make up some time and positions are the 6 and the 21 car, BC Racer Kid and Slade. They are both at the tail end of this lead pack.
Yeah, you're definitely reading my mind because I was actually just looking at how the 21 Slade has moved up quite a bit from that restart just a lap or so ago.
Riding along with him. Oh, in the wall!
Oh.
The 17 of Fluffy. Wow, great heads-up driving by the 21. And look what it does. That loss of momentum. You're going 180 at plus out of the turn. Suddenly a car slows in front of you to 160. There's almost practically no time to react.
Right, and that's what I was saying earlier with you using this whole track. And if you just hit the wall, you're gonna scoop the other guys up behind you.
This 21 car, even on some older tires, because he and the 6 car, they were both on older tires in order to get the wave around and get caught back up. Although I don't think they were under pressure right there. We got a battle perhaps for 2nd place. Oh, the 9, he's out of shape on the backstretch.
Oh man, that's a little unfortunate. He's doing real well, but you know, I don't think he's going to lose the strap to maybe be able to work his way back up there.
Yeah, he's going to fall outside of the top 10 just behind. Oh, in the wall! DWH, and now we got contact. Could it be our first wreck? It is!
Oh, wow.
See, Workman is around. Big crash in turn 4. On its side, barrel rolling into 21 of Slade. Caution!
It's almost like there was oil on the track, you know what I mean? They all had issues right there in the middle of 3 and 4. It's like when the 14 hit, it just killed everyone else's rhythm, and
was it the 14, our leader, that hit the wall? I saw the 41 out of shape for the first time. Wow.
The 14 hit first, the 12 went around, and then there was just some issues.
So our leaders made contact, and unfortunately I wasn't able to see that.
The 14 just went a little too strong through 3. Not too positive, but I think we're going to see a little shakeup here.
That incident will definitely shuffle the running order of this field. And some good guys that have been up front basically all race long will now find themselves mid-pack. Some guys that have not had the benefit of clean air, able to breathe a little bit better here on this restart. Green flag is back out. Go back up front. And see where our leaders follow in. The 9 and the 12 up front.
Yeah, I'd really like to see what this 9 car can do. I saw him on the outside of Fluffy earlier, and he was really strong. A nice tight car on the outside.
14 car, he made a mistake. He's been in an accident here. How does he drive this next couple of laps? Is he on the offense or on the defense?
He's going to be very offensive because he's used to that. He wants to get back up there. He doesn't want to have to be defensive. Oh, and the 38 almost cuts down to the 2.
Yes, you saw the 2 and the 38 make contact right there.
Yeah,
Wow,
AJ
a lot of
just had
slicing
so
and
much
dicing.
momentum going through there. He had so much speed, and there wasn't much he could have done. They did the best they could.
12 car Big D Destroyer, who made contact with the 9 previously before that caution came out, looks like a much cleaner pass right now. And Big D Destroyer to the top of the leaderboard right there, but it's the 88 trying to hold off a very determined 14. He's trying to make his way back up to the front.
Yeah, the 9 of Pat's Ace has no friends up there. I saw he had a tight car early on, and you can see that here too. He's going up the track a lot earlier than everyone else, and it's just opening a door. It's tough to handle, especially when you're in a draft.
Well, the field has now single filed itself out, but they're still all perhaps nose to tail running along in tight formation. The 12 car, almost clipped that apron in turn 1, and the 88 has a mirror full of the 14.
Yeah, we ran 8 laps so far in this second stage. One thing that I see different here in between the 2 stages is look at this lead pack. It's everyone. First stage, they spread apart. It's like everyone knew what to do on their cars.
Definitely seeing some tighter and closer competition. First pass for position. You see the 6 car underneath the 2 AJ, who has to go up. Wow, Bags trying to force the issue there out of 4. 3 wide.
The 21.
Briefly.
When you get shuffled out of line, it's so hard to get back into your rhythm. And then you're looking in your mirror, you're trying to find an opening. It just makes things worse.
Man, we got trouble. We got the 11 and the 3. Cody Workman, the 17 is also involved. Fluffy in the back of the pack. See, Workman is still sitting in the middle of the backstretch. It is a 1-car incident. We try to go back and see exactly he gets going, and it is away. We saw the 11 car sideways first. And unfortunately, the 3 car with the next car by, see, Workman will need the aid of a caution flag in order to get caught back up. We'll have one at the end of stage 2, but right now, it's a lonely feeling out there in last place.
Yeah, that is a lonely feeling. I think the only thing that he can kind of count on is maybe pit strategy and knowing that they're definitely going to have another flag at the end of the stage.
Look at this lead pack right now. 2-car AJ Storm through the grass and a crash on the backstretch. The 9-car mid-pack sliding. He collects the 38. Does that trigger a caution flag? We stay under the green flag, I believe. No, yellow is out.
I'm on the 3 and he's going.
Third one of the day.
Yeah. All right, that
is a big break for the 3.
What's that going to do to the racing? Is it going to make it smoother, or are they going to still be tense and just run each other as hard as they are? They're doing a crazy good job.
You can feel the intensity of the race picking up as we click more laps go by and by. You're learning more about your race car. With every caution, there's a chance at a pit stop. With a pit stop, your car's going to get better. These guys are going to force the issue a little bit more, a lot less give and take, and a lot more bumping and shoving to get to the front. We've seen how important it is for track position and to keep it.
Oh yeah, track position's important, and that 88, haven't seen him up front until the end of that, or right before that caution there, and really like to see what he can do here.
He's on the outside. Big D Destroy right there. Oh, he got pushed! He got shoved to the outside by the 22 at Diesel. 3 wide and a problem in turn 2. Able to gather it back up. Everyone to the bottom of the racetrack. The 11 car Celtics fan flips the apron in turn number 2. And in the wall hard goes the 11. It has not been Celtics fans' day again. But the 88, who was on the outside, got punted by the 22. Able to gather it back up. He was outside of the racing groove.
Yeah, he lost 4 positions there. He might lose a 5th, but Slade is doing a great job being patient. He knows he doesn't want to get on the inside of the 88 here and have to go.
Oh, we got a crash in the back of the pack. 1 car, hard hit to the inside wall. Don't know who that was. The 9 of Pat's Ace was involved. And the 3 of C. Workman.
The 19's entering 2 really low. He may drift up the track into that 14. He does a great job staying off the 14. That was very impressive by Bags.
I don't know how many laps they're coming to toward the end of the stage, but we won't need, with that last caution flag, we don't need these guys on pit road again. So what you see is what you get. And these guys might know it.
Hard racing. Yeah, you know, they know they're not going to be able to do it on pit strategy now to get that second stage win. So we're going to see some really hard racing. They know they're close. They know they're close to that leader. 6th place is only 1.5 seconds behind, you know, and that could change easily here as they got 6 to go.
Coming to 5 to go next time by. You see Big D Destroyer now. He has a teammate behind him, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a friend. The 22, a Diesel there, who made contact with the 88, now finds himself all over the back bumper of the 12, a Big D Destroyer.
Yeah, and another car that we've seen kind of moving up and down the running order is that 6, a BC Racer, and he's being very methodical, I think. That's how he's getting back up through the back. He gets right up to the bumper, that 22.
Trying to break up the Ford Brigade up front is that 19 of Bags. He's the lone Toyota there in the top 5. Everyone else sporting a blue oval as the 14 Smoke Fan looks underneath BC Racer Kid. They're side by side into turn 2. The 2 Penske cars trying to keep them guys at bay.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty good job right now. I mean, they're pushing away. There's a lot of room between them, and they're going to have, 4 to go here. As long as they keep their cool, I think they'll be all right.
Smoke Fan was able to get around the 6 of BC Racer Kid. He has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. It'll be interesting to see what he can do with the 22. And if that is allowed to happen, can he get to the 12 car with 3 to go this time by?
Yeah, they're going to get there. As long as they keep running well, it looks like, oh, nice job by Smoke Fan. Yeah, 4 to go here.
Oh, 4 to go, excuse me.
They'll be coming to 3. But
Smoke Fan is there.
I don't think the 12 is used to leading, you know. He had Smoke Fan in front of him that entire first stage, did a great job, and he's kind of going up the track a little more than he wants to on exit because he's trying to set the pace. And he's not really used to setting the pace. Coming
along with that 14 is the 19 of Bags. Diesel was no match in turn 3, able to give a position to the 14 of Smoke Fan. And Smoke Fan is not done yet. He's looking with a run underneath the 12, a Big D Destroyer. Wow, Smoke Fan charging to the front. Oh, we made a contact. He puts the 12, a Big D Destroyer in the wall, and another mistake. Half the field has to get through this. Oh, my goodness.
I'm happy that you caught that. I'm happy you caught that. The 38's flipping around.
Oh, man, we got a big crash. This is going to end the stage. This is it. And the 19 of Bags is out front, stage 2 winner, and it ends in a shower of sparks after the 14, our pole setter, made a mistake in turn 2 and sent the 12 car wide, and the field had to get through.
Yeah, that really, I feel like they're dice right now. You just put them in a cup, roll them out, see where they land. That's kind of how I feel that little wreck went. Sometimes you never know what's going to happen, and you're trying your best. And again, this track, you really have to hit your marks.
I just want to confirm that it is the 19 of Bags, your stage 2 winner. Led only 1 lap that entire stage. It was the most important one. He'll be awarded with 10 playoff points. But as you mentioned there, the 14. Wow.
And look at who's in the lead here. Not pitting. He's Galen in the 10, but it looks like he moved over a bit. May have had an issue getting to pit road. I'd really like to see what Cody can do. He's been getting hit with some bad luck. And it looks like the 19 is going to pull for the lead with BC Racer right in there.
Side by side out of 2. BC Racer Kid on the outside. And look at this hornet's nest. Side by side. No one giving an inch. Does someone force the issue? Perhaps making it 3 wide into 2.
I
Nope.
think the 19 did the smart thing by protecting the bottom. He had the choice to get in front of the 6 or the 21. I think if he got in front of the 6, the 21 could have had some help to get on the inside going into 3. He protected that bottom line. That was a smart move by that 19 of bags.
Man, these guys, we've had 4 pit stops. These guys have made some great adjustments to the race car. What does the 19 car need to do right here to keep these guys at bay? He caught a lucky break with that crash. He really did.
He needs to keep hitting his lines. He has to be able to get into the corner quick enough, but exit strong as well, so that no one gets on the inside of him. Again, he says, all right, you're faster than me. Let's see if you can do this on the outside. But Slade has so much momentum going in there, he may be able to do it.
But it's a
so
longer
strong.
way around this track in contact. We've seen those guys on the inside. Just like that. Just exactly like that. The 17 put the 21 car in the wall.
Yeah, I had the best seat. I was right with the 21 for that.
J.R.M. Keffer is in the wall as well to the inside. Wow, push it coming to shove late. And perhaps these guys know it. That's why we're seeing a lot of mistakes. I don't believe it was the 17's car fault, Fluffy, but he did get into the side. And just as I was about to say, how I don't know if I necessarily... Oh, we got a crash mid-stretch. The 22 Diesel's around, along with the 11 a Celtics fan. Caution is out. And the 21 of Slade, our point leader, also involved.
Yeah, it looks like Fluffy's going to go on with the lead here. And I believe... Let me see here. No, yeah, I believe so. I can't see the top running order. But I saw that whole thing. I kind of want to talk about that before they get going to green again.
Yeah.
But you know how before we were talking about you need the whole track to be able to get through the corners? That 19 had the 21 right on his outside. He didn't have the whole track to go up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he was coming through 3, and he didn't get to go up as high as he did, so he had to let off, and he got loose. That started a big chain reaction behind him. And then the 17 had to lift a little more, and then they start going up the track. You start lifting, you're going to shift all your weight, and the rear is just going to be spinning around. And
as Mike Joy likes to say, lifters are losers in that type of situation right there.
I think so, man. But I think no matter what, that would have been a tough situation.
Looking high from high above the Goodyear blimp to 3 of C. Workman. And look who's back up front. The 14 through varying strategy, able to get to the point. Now, can he hang on with it? We've seen some mistakes out of that 14 car.
Where there's a will, there's a way, and I think that that 14 definitely has the will and the way to stay up front. We saw him up front early, fell to the back, and he's back up there again. The 2 does a great job staying off the 19. Great job, AJ.
3 car, who's also had some issues and been involved in an incident as well, able to rebound there nicely. In the 38 car, your top 3, and Big D Destroyer had to look underneath him. Thinks better of it.
Yeah, it looked like the 38 had a hard time kind of setting up his entry there, but he was able to work it well. That 12 is being smart, and it looks like everyone behind is as well. As they all line up here. Let's try and get into a rhythm, guys. We're on lap 56 at 80. Got a long way to go, and I'd love to see who's got the long run speed. As the 12 is able to get into the inside of that 38 smoothly, real smooth.
Wow, I cannot believe the run that the 21 car is able to follow the 19 of bags. It wasn't so, I mean, the 21 was involved in that last caution. And now he's back up as if nothing ever happened there. There is no quit. Woo, excuse me.
Yeah,
there really is no quit in that 21 car.
No, and from what I've been seeing, there are a few cars here that are strong wherever they run. There are some cars that get loose when they're on the inside of someone or on the outside. They get tight. But Slade in that 21, he's one of those drivers that can keep the car still, whether he's on the inside or the outside of another car. Sure, he may be getting past if he's on the outside, but he's keeping that thing nice and strong. I think he's going to have a good long run here.
Well, the more things change, the more things stay the same. Our front two continue to be the 14 and now the 12 car are back running 1-2 as if we haven't seen a couple of instances where those cars have gotten together.
Yeah, and you're not kidding. Saab Max, though, he's really impressed me. From watching him, he seems like he's got a super loose car, but he's able to still stay in third, and that's just, oh man, he's doing a heck of a job. He's really got his belts tight.
Car that I believe would be good and good clean air would perhaps be the 3, but right now he's going in the wrong direction there. Was second a couple of laps ago, was able to be passed by the 12. Now the 38 car, and I believe he has a mirrorful of the 17 car who's not going to be patient for much longer and trying to look to the inside before the 19 makes a mistake and gets underneath him. 14, a smoke fan up the racetrack, opens up, and it's a long freight train of cars, single file underneath them.
Yeah, and the 3 lost one spot. He was able to get there. Oh, the 38.
Yes.
Got a little loose. May have had some help.
Way wide out of 2.
Wow, that 3 is finding holes right at the last second, and it's pretty amazing how he's able to get that thing in there. As he's on the outside of the 38, they keep it pretty clean. That could have gone a lot worse.
Through all that, Fluffy able to get to second, and Smokefan was able to retain the lead on the outside. So that's interesting.
That is amazing.
It's not miraculous.
How, Fluffy was able to get through there. You know, the lap before, I saw Fluffy try and go on the inside of Cody Workman, and he finally did, and it paid off for him. Well,
we always know Fluffy could be a threat. Following with the 88 car, who obviously has some trouble. He's not within the lead pack. Kind of running along by himself. Don't know what sent that car wide. Try to get some love to these guys that are in the back of the pack. We continue to follow the story up front. The 14 continues to lead in front of the 17. Meanwhile, right behind him, you see the 41 DWH and New World Order. New World Order, who's coming off a third-place podium finish at Dover there, has not been able to really make so much noise in that 18 machine. And this is a race team that has been to victory lane. Kyle Busch won this race back in 2016. He's won it a couple times, actually. But New World Order not having the type of day he would like with that Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota M&M's Camry right there.
Yeah, these guys aren't really running bad laps at all. They're really smooth. I think just once you lose that pack, it's going to be tough to get back there.
10 car who, and I've had this mistake happen myself, perhaps you pit under green. When you pit underneath the caution flag, it can change your setup. I don't know, and that's a glitch that 704 games will have to make amends to. But the 10 car who did restart first, we both believe he did not get on pit road, or something he did not like about that race car in order to lead the entire field. So he is also outside of the draft, as we see the 11th Celtics fan make his first pit stop. He's the first of our lead lap cars, well outside of the draft, but he's on pit road right now. Up front, a couple of new faces here. The 19 of Bags and the 17 of Fluffy. They've made some noise and now giving Smoke Fan a little bit of a run for his money as we see the 17 car right on the back bumper. Man, it's been like the 14 cannot shake the trailer hitch that's on the back end of that Ford Mustang. He's always dragging a Ford with him. If the 14 wins this race, it will be him and that other car, I swear, will pull right to victory lane with him. Who's ever in second right behind him.
Yeah, he's doing a great job of running consistent lines, not making errors. Because when you're running that fast and you're in second, the only way you're going to get into first is if that guy that's already in that spot you want has a little mistake.
And we say that, but unfortunately, we've seen the 14 car make some mistakes here tonight. Oh, popping the walls, the 12, the Big D Destroyer. He'll take out the 3 and the 9 of Pat's Ace. Hard, vicious wreck in the short shoot of turn 3 and 4, and caution is out.
Yeah, caution's out. They got 18 to go. I believe this will be the last time they have to pit for fuel, but strategy could still come into play.
No one, and I mean this, no one has been immune to any mistakes here tonight. We've seen some of our top players make some big mistakes, and it has unfortunately taken out some good competitors along with them. Big D Destroyer there just popped the wall. We can't tell you how insanely focused you must be here at Indy if you make a one toe out of line and you're out of the groove and you're out of the racetrack before slamming back into it with another car.
Yeah, you can't just let off the gas and go down the track. You let off, you're going right up it. You're going into the air.
The green flag is back out. We'll have, I believe, did you say 18 to go?
Looks like we'll have 14 now. They ran a few under.
On the grass and back across the track. Wow, what a hit! Oh my goodness, most of the field annihilated at turn 2. The 41, you saw the 9. He clipped the grass and went right back into traffic, and everyone behind him was involved. The 3, the 10, the Gallon, the 11, a Celtics fan. Who else? Let's see. No, the 41, the 9, the 22 also involved in that. Diesel, Gallon. At least 5 cars involved on a restart crash that began when the 9 of Pat's Ace clipped the grass and then went back into traffic head on into the safer barrier. A vicious crash in turn 1.
Yeah, that's no good for Diesel and Pat's Ace there. They're going to have a lot of work to do and not a lot of time to do it. I'm seeing a huge difference from the very start of the race. I don't know about you, but I think they know it's time to get moving and try and pick up those spots.
Well, Smoke Fan, who's been kind of the sentimental favorite there, haven't seen any lag issues out of him tonight at all, which has got to be a good thing. But right now, can he hang on for a little over 10 laps? 11 to go as they cross the stripe. 14 in front, and the 17 and the 19 right behind him. In the wall hard, New World Order, in Gallon behind the pack.
Yeah, and Bags is not going to have a good time on that outside. He's going to need some help, and guess who's there? That 21 is Slade, and he's got a strong 12. If I have anyone behind me, I want it to be that 12 right there, man, because Big Destroyer, man, he was the best pusher tonight. In
the wall, the 21 is Slade, and the 12 of Big D Destroyer, and around goes most of the field in turn 3. This is going to trigger a caution. The Celtics fan, Diesel, and another machine also involved in that. And the yellow flag is back out here at Indy.
Yeah, it looked like it was just really tight racing. I believe the 2 of AJ was kind of in the middle there and may have gone up in the Slade just a tiny bit. Not much you can do in that situation.
And that is a shame because he has been a great, if not, he's had one of the best Ford Mustangs all day long, and now he's going to have little time to make up the most positions there from that 12 car because he's going to start mid-pack. This caution a big break for the 18 and the 10 who were involved in a crash that did not trigger the yellow flag, and this is our 6th of the day. And out front, who was able to get in front of the 14 was Fluffy. We're going to see that 14 on the outside. Here they go. I believe we're coming to 9 to go as they cross the stripe.
Big push from the 19 to 14 there. As Smoke Fan really gave the pressure to Fluffy, but Fluffy's not budging, not flinching. He's staying on the inside, but Smoke Fan's still right there on his door.
But the inside line is getting that push right there, and you see the 38 car, trying to force the issue. Thought better of it, almost. I thought we were going to have a 3 wide situation right there, but 17 keeps it in the gas, and the 38 and the 6 right behind him. You see the 14 and the 9 wide off the corner on the outside line. The 22 forces the issue underneath 3 of Cody. Tight racing, and in pit road goes the 2 of AJ Storm.
Man, Saab took second. He barely had an inch to do it, while Smoke Fan just barely rubbed the wall out of 4, but he doesn't lose too much momentum, but he's got a mirror full of BC Racer.
Fluffy leading his first lap of the day. You can see the 2 car who was a victim of them checking up in turn 4. Now the field single file. But it is the 38 of Saab right behind the 17 of Fluffy, trying to make some noise. But will the 14 car Smoke Fan be patient off the corner? Slicing and dicing. Oh, he made contact trying to get to the 38 car.
That's going to bunch everyone else up, you hope, but it looks like
it
the 22
does.
is able to take
and
advantage
the 38
of it.
car is going to bounce back into traffic. We got a crash. Spinning front stretch. Oh, what a big hit. The field has slowed in turn 1, and the other half of the field is littered on the front stretch. Slade is in it. A track blocker to bring out our 7th caution of the day here at Indy.
Yeah, this could be good for AJ to see. You know, he just hit pit road accidentally.
He'll get the benefit of the lucky dog. He'll get put on the lead lap, but he'll have to restart on the tail end of the pack, and that might not be such a good thing. He'll need to avoid the wreck before the caution comes out in order to make any time up.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if he got tires, there could be some guys out there that don't. Even though he's starting in the back, maybe he'll have a stronger car. But again, with the way these guys are running, it's so hard to find space. It's hard to find room to get around someone and then to get in front of them as well, because they're all nose to tail.
How many laps are we coming to go?
Let's see here. Looks like we're going to have 2 to go.
All right. We're in overtime.
Yeah, 2 go. No, it's actually regulation time.
Oh, the 6 car.
The 6.
BC Racer Kid with a mistake. He got on the apron, clipped the grass, and now it took a hold of him. Riding from above the Goodyear blimp, the 14 had less than a lap and a half to get around the 17, who had the defensive line. Here goes the 14 underneath. It didn't work out for him. Oh, he made contact. Sends the 17 car to the outside. He's going to bring along the 19 of bags with him. Yellow flag is out. Looks like we had a crash, perhaps.
Yeah.
And this will be our first attempt at a green-white checkered.
And Fluffy was able to hold the lead over Smoke Fan, which
and I do want to say
huge dividends.
I don't believe that contact was initialized by the 14. I believe that contact happened when the caution came out. So I just want to clear that up, that I don't believe that Smoke Fan got into the side of the 17. I believe that was just the game registering to slow the field down. Woo!
Yeah,
we saw the 14 car, though. What did the 17 car Fluffy learn from that? He tried to block that advance, and it didn't work out for him. Now the 17 car has got to be on the defense.
That caution is a lifesaver right now for Fluffy, because he had that 14 on the inside around 3 and 4.
He really did. Oh, we got a crash already. Track is blocked. It's the 11 car, and we didn't even get the turn 1.
Well, it's a good thing Fluffy got through the gears a little better than Smoke there. But, man, you know, you've been running races for a while. You've led most of the race. You've had the strongest car, and all of a sudden someone comes in there, steals your spot at a track like this where that inside line is preferred, extremely preferred. How do you think Smoke Fan's feeling right now today? That's tough. That's a tough situation.
It is, but I believe as a competitor, you got to put that aside, and you got to go and do what you're paid to do, and that is race. You got to get. You're going to have to force the issue.
Do what you do.
Exactly, and we're going to see
Perfect.
some great driving out of this 14 car in order to get up front. Now, it'll be interesting to see, did the 19 car, no, he did not. It's still the 14 on the outside. Meanwhile, that wreck right there, I want to say that is classic Indy. We've seen so many restarts here where a crash happens on the front stretch because someone doesn't get going. That is a classic Indy wreck. Our second attempt at a green-white checkered. Can Fluffy hang on in front of the 14 of Smoke Fan?
Got to stay off that apron. That 19 was close. Does a great job helping Fluffy here. The 14 gives them enough room. Perfect. These guys are doing a great job. 19 gets a little out of shape.
He does. He's got to block that advance from the 88 car. Meanwhile, oh, look at this. Smoke Fan dove underneath. What a great move by Smoke Fan. He'll have the inside position. They're side by side into turn number 3. Up the racetrack.
The 22
in 3 wide.
To push. Oh, there may be a caution. The 22's in the wall.
Yes, there's going to be a crash. They're not going to make it to the overtime. Wow, what a hit by the 2 car. And the 14 emerges as the leader as the yellow flag is called. Our third attempt at the green-white checkered will now take place. It is every man for himself right now. The 14 car will not be denied.
One thing that I learned is when you're going down that backstretch into 3, if you got someone around you, stay low. You know, you got to stay low. They're going to cut down there, and they're going to dive in that corner a little faster than you are, and they could just wash up the track, take you out, or just get enough speed to get around you. I would try to risk it.
The 17 car, he did go up high to try and block that advance. He thought a run was coming on the outside line, but that's exactly where the 14 car decided to make his move and dove underneath. Yep. And now we see our front row changed hands. The 14 car, now your leader with the 17 of Fluffy on the outside. 19 a bag, still what's in his pocket. Our third attempt at a green-white checkered, now underway here at Indy. $14 a Smoke Fan. Oh, 18 a New World Order's in the wall.
World Order. I believe there's another spin
that's
back
another
there.
Yellow.
Yeah. May have been the 9 of Pat's ace. Yeah, I feel like the 9 of Pat's ace just didn't have the track position he needed today. Just too many misfortunes for him.
Yeah, a lot of these guys coulda, woulda, shoulda. I'd love to have seen what the 3 car could have perhaps done. The 6 car BC Racer Kid has also been involved. The 11 and the 2, man, these rats of yellow flags have been able to help them. They've not really been a factor as well, but they could salvage something out of this day. And as well as the 10 of Gallon. Gallon has not been there at all. He's still mired back in mid-pack. But what will we see when we get back under the green flag?
There's so many different scenarios. It's like, who really knows? It's too bad that 12 isn't up there. I'm sure he's looking at the front like, come on, get me back up there. And
it's not over, though.
You're
2
right.
laps to go. The 14 of Smoke Fan. Wow, 17 almost clipped the grass.
Gets pulled right through there.
Oh, back across the track into 38. Do we stay under the green flag?
Ooh, the 2 AJ into the wall.
We're staying green. I believe the game is not going to register that as a caution. Here comes the 21 of Slade underneath the 17 car. He's battling for second. Nope.
There's a caution.
Now the yellow flag has been out. Man, there were 3 or 4 wrecks right there before we officially got the call from NASCAR to throw it under the yellow flag. Man, this race has now gone to its 5th edition of overtime, and we still have no idea who could win it. We got a good shot, though, of the 14 car, but if he makes a mistake, man, talk about the 21 car. This is why you could never count out Slade at all.
Celtics fan, too. We haven't really seen him up front. We've seen him in the middle. He's been staying out of trouble. Haven't had to talk about him much, and he's right there. He keeps his cool. He may be able to find that opening. He may in this kind of situation, if I know that I don't have the fastest car, I'm going to try and stay with him. Give him enough room, though, just in case they make mistakes, and I can just try my best to get through there and maybe steal this victory.
All right, our 6th edition of a green-white checkered here at Indy. These fans definitely got their money's worth as the green flag is back out. Can the 14 of Smoke Fan hold on as we ride along on board with some a clear racetrack, but the 21 of Slade in hot pursuit.
21 just clears the front bumper, that 17. And he's getting a good run off, too. He goes to go on the outside. He cuts on the outside.
Oh, he got cut off on the 14.
Takes his nose.
And he's back across the track. He saved it, though.
How did he save that?
I don't know. Man, what a save out of the
Slade.
21. Will push come to shove if the 21 gets back to the back bumper of the 14? We'll find out. We're going to see the white flag displayed this time by. 3 cars, 3 Fords, blue ovals underneath the blanket to the outside. Goes to 17 of Fluffy. White flag in the wind. 1 lap to go here at Indy.
Going to help. That 21's going to help the 17. He didn't like that move the 14 made. Oh, maybe not. He goes on the inside.
Slade's going to have one more final shot at it. Smoke Fan, he cut him off once. Can he do so again in a lot cleaner of a fashion, or does a caution come out and give the win to the 14? Breathing room for the 14.
Yeah, but that's not good. You don't want breathing room. They're going to just train you here.
21 of Slade. Oh, he got pushed up to the outside by the 17. That's side by side, and that could be exactly what the 14 car wants to see. Out of turn 4, Smoke Fan started on the pole, had a couple of issues, but it's not going to plague his night. And now he'll return through the victory lane and kiss the bricks in the 1-400 at the Brickyard. What a win for Smoke Fan.
Yeah, what a win. What a win for him. Oh, man. You know, he wanted it. He had the lead. He had one of the best, if not the best cars all night. And he was cool as a cucumber there, hit his marks, had to do what he had to do to make sure he kept that win. And that was a great race to watch, Alex, dude. That was sick.
Wow. I'm glad to see it came down to actual 2 laps of racing instead of a yellow flag, perhaps calling that early. But yes, you said it right there. And an unbelievable run by the 21 car, who had to save that race car. That was insane. I know the 14 car, it kind of goes back to, well, you know what? Real life, we saw Clint Boyer and Eric Jones. Eric Jones threw a late block on the 14. It cost him a ton of positions. I do believe there was a late block on the 14 car's fault, but it didn't cost the 21 any more positions than perhaps what he might have gotten the win there. But it was still great racing. It was a clean race to the end, and we saw what I believe was the most dominant car win the race. Great run by the 14.
100%. I agree with you 100%, Alex. And I can't believe Slade was able to hold that thing still. If he ever saves a car again like that, that's like winning or getting hit by lightning twice. In my eyes, the way that he was going, I don't know how he did it. That was great.
Well, we're gonna have a chance to talk to him about that run.
These guys in here, yeah.
And we'll get him in here quickly before we got to get off the air, unfortunately, here, guys. But wow, what a run by the 14.
All right, just bear with me here.
First win since Richmond earlier in the season. He DNF'd out of the last 3 races, and now the pole sitter able to get another win for Smoke Fan in that 14 machine.
All right, invite to Smoke Fan. Let's see if we can grab the others as well.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Hey, congrats on that win, Smoke Fan.
What? Appreciate it, yo.
Smoke Fan, you had a dominant car all day long. You were able to start on the pole, but you didn't keep it there. You had a couple of mistakes there early. We saw one crash between you and the 12 car that sent you deep in the field, but then through another caution, you were able to retain the lead. Talk about those crazy couple of laps and surviving those green-white checkers.
I messed up a couple times. I got a little of the jitters, hit the apron, bounced up in the 12 car. That was 100% my fault. I think I caused a couple of them, to be honest with you. But, yeah, those last few restarts were definitely nerve-wracking. I had Fluffy attack me a couple times, Bag, Slade. Other than the last few 5-10 minutes of the race, it was a pretty great race all around, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. That was a great race.
And I think five or six of our guys took the top 10 leaderboard overall at Indy. So, I mean, it was a fast-paced race. We were hauling.
Yeah, you guys sure were hauling, and man, I don't know how you had the nerves to be able to hold off that huge pack of cars coming to you. You made some great moves to get to that victory. You definitely were one of the fastest, if not the fastest in the night. Congrats on that win. That was really really cool to watch.
Appreciate it, awesome. Nice to finally close one of these things out. I feel like the last 3 or 4 weeks I've had a car that could have done it, but internet connections finally got the job done tonight.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question there, Smoke fan. What's it like to finally finish off one and the biggest of ways here in Victory Lane and kiss that yard of bricks after all those connectivity issues you've had over the past month?
It's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, that's kept me out of the playoffs, and now I'm just racing for wins. So it was all or nothing tonight, and I was able to bring it home.
Well, all or nothing indeed. Definitely got this 14 car back in Victory Lane. Smoke fan, thank you so much there. Congratulations. Go and enjoy your night. I do believe Nick is standing by with our second place podium finisher. That'll be our point leader, Slade.
Slade, man, you were great to watch all night. You saved the car so many times. I mentioned that you could run anywhere on the track, and you really did show it at the end there. You made a great move on the inside. How did you keep that car to finish with the position you did?
Um, yeah, trying to save that car with two to go was I don't know how I did it. I'm kind of lucky I got back to the third position
Yeah.
because I was running third or second and I was caught in a wreck. Nothing I could do about it. And so I went back to 14th and just slowly worked my way back up and restarted third and tried to juke out the 14. Went high, he went high. I go back low. He also came back low. Got my nose about wrecked us into the grass. I went back and watched the video, and I actually had two tires on the grass trying to save it. So that was exciting, but at the same time, it's like, well, if I don't get cut off, pretty much, Groby Chet win the race better than I was. But yeah, it was a fun race for me. I think it was fun race for a lot of people out there. Other than those final 10 laps, those final 10 laps were pretty hectic. Not a lot of people, giving respect to room, which is would tend to go. Everyone's trying to win the race, but you just gotta know that when you're sitting in like I say sixth place and then eighth on back, you're pretty much done. You got to be first, top four, top five, pretty much to be able to have a chance to win the race if we're going two to go. And people who are eighth and ninth were just making moves probably shouldn't have. But overall, I thought it was a fantastic first, 90% of the race. I thought it was great. A lot of good passes, good moves. Very exciting. Glad we could put the Wood Brothers 21 back to podium finish. And I think it was our ninth top five for the season, sixth top three. And yeah, it's a great race, though. Had a lot of fun.
Earlier today,
Yeah, that was great.
Sorry, go ahead, Nick.
Nope, you're good.
I was just gonna say there, Slade. Earlier today, I said there's just no quit in that 21 machine. There, I've seen you knocked into a corner and you come out swinging there, and this is a prime example of it. How you were able to, with 2 laps to go, still maintain and actually gain a position back up to second there. But I gotta know what would have happened if there was 1 lap and you were right on the back end of that 14 car after that last move.
Oh, he might have seen a wall. I'll tell you that. But no, I would have moved him. I don't have put him in a wall, but I definitely would have moved him. I went back and watched it. I mean, I was probably at his left rear tire, or at his
It was a late block. It was a lot like I compared it to Eric Jones and Clint Boyer earlier this week. Why Clint was mad at Eric at Kansas. It was a late block, but you guys were able to. The difference was that you weren't able to lose positions. If not, you mirrored what would have been perhaps if you guys had raced to the finish without any contact there.
Well, I'm glad I didn't lose any positions.
Yeah, I think you made the right move because you had so much momentum off of two and you went high. I was thinking, is he gonna go on the outside of him here? And then you cut down and you went on the inside. I think you would have been in a worse position if you did stay high. You did what you had to do and you did a great job saving it.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, overall fun race. Glad you guys could commentate for us and hope you're at home enjoyed.
Cool. Congratulations there. We will see you next week here. 4 races left to go in the playoffs. Last but certainly not least, We have Fluffy, who was able to get to the front, lost the lead late, but was able to stick around for a podium finish there. Fluffy, talk us through those last closing laps and surviving those green-white checkers.
Man, I don't even know, dude, honestly. I know beginning of the race, I thought I had a good car to go into the race, and I had so many issues going into it. I was tied off, I was slamming the wall, I was loose off, and couldn't figure it out till stage 3 and kind of made my way towards the front. And, you know, when I was sitting in that position in the lead, you know, constantly after caution, after caution, after caution, I tried my best trying to, you know, get to the white flag or, you know, try to get through 3 and 4 easily. But, you know, Smoke, very fast guy. You know, Stuart Haas 14 was very fast. And, you know, we couldn't capitalize it on today. But happy to bring home third. You know, basically it's better, you know, finish than what we did in stage 1 and 2, and, you know, hopefully we can, you know, capitalize on next week at Martinsville, and we can just go from there.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. The first few stages, you look like you were having a tough time, but way to rally up and get that third place finish, Fluffy. Good job.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, the third place finish there. And Nick, kind of what we expected here. Another exciting race here for the Pocono Raceway Cup Series. Definitely one that's going to be in the memory books as of late.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I wish there was a camera on me. I don't know how much my butt was on the chair at the end of that. You know, I was right up on the screen. That was exciting, clean, good racing. Yeah, there's cautions. That's going to happen, though. They want those spots. These guys are competitors, and they're all talented competitors. That was one of the best races I've seen.
Congratulations in order for the 14-car Smoke fan, able to get it done after 3 straight DNFs. Not going to be in playoff contention, but Smoke fan definitely let the crowd know he was here, and a win for Stewart Off Racing, who we know, Tony Stewart, a big fan of the Brickyard, considered one of his home house, both the 2005 and 2007 winner of this race, can now add Smoke fan in that 14 car, another trophy to be put in for that racing team and organization. From all of us here for the Midnight Broadcasting Network, we hope you enjoyed today's race. We go from this storied, famed racetrack here at Indy to the short track at Martinsville Speedway, where a hot dog has my name on it. Join us right here at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we'll do it all again here with Nick and myself and all of us at the Midnight Broadcasting Network. We hope you enjoyed today's race. We will see you guys next time.